Hello, everyone. I'm Krooked, and this is Unscripted, the series where I take a completely unscripted look at games and give it a 1 through 10 rating. This is Star Wars Super Bombad Racing to finish up, our last week of Star Wars games. This is something. For the first time, it doesn't sound like Star Wars. So that's obviously Obi-Wan, Yoda, Anakin, Padme, Boss Nass, Sebulba, Jar Jar Binks, and Darth Maul. I'm gonna rock Darth Maul. Oh man, this is a game. So, back in the day on the PlayStation 2, they tried to experiment with a lot of things. They tried to do a lot of new, unique things that hadn't been done. They tried to make this a game. Not the prettiest of things. Pretty hideous, actually, if you ask me. It's kind of like a chibi style, but whoa. Ugh. This is, out of all the games that we've taken a look at this month for Star Wars month, we've seen games that are fantastic examples of Star Wars. We've seen games that are not. And this is not something that I would have ever expected to get out of Star Wars, is pseudo Mario Kart with Awooga horns. In terms of sounding like a Star Wars game, this doesn't at all. This is very not Star Wars. It doesn't really look too much like a Star Wars game either. Sure, you have the Star Wars characters and the environments are kinda Star Wars, but with that fog of war, well, I call it fog of war because I played a lot of StarCraft as a kid. But with the fog holding back the draw distance, this is rough. Like, really, really rough. And there's clearly no story here at all. I can race again is the first option? What kind of an option is that? Okay, so now we'll go do the Dune Sea. There's a lot of different courses to race for, so I mean, the game definitely has that going for it. And the characters are adorable. If you ever wanted to see very cute and adorable versions of Star Wars characters, I mean, this is clearly the game that's going to do it for you. But yeah, it's a little rough so far. It plays okay from what I can tell. Basic, not much going to it. Very basic controls. You hold X to go. Square is like break. Circle's your Awooga. You can change camera with triangle. I think you can use like force powers with R1 or L1. It has some voice quotes-ish. I don't know. So there's a lot of different Mario Kart clones out there. Thereh Crash Team Racing. There's Sonic Heroes. There's Mario Kart. There's Sackboy Racing Ventures. If you want a Mario Kart game and you don't own a Nintendo system, there's a trillion different options out there. When it comes to Star Wars and those karting game options, This is one of them. I'm not sure why anyone would choose this over, like, Star Wars Racer, though. Being in, you know, a pod racer and being able to race around is actually a really unique, fun experience that you can't really get in other games because it doesn't exist in other games. No other games have pod racers. Granted, no other games have Jawas making me into a little teeny tiny mall with force lightning either, but I'm not sure that's something that I care about in my game. I'm not sure that it's going to benefit the game at all by having that here. This is just so rough. I'm trying to find anything that's really enjoyable. I mean, this could be fun with 2 players. And it might be fun, you know, for like little kids. Again, if you don't have a Nintendo console and you have access to this, that might be a really fun time. But otherwise, this is just kind of a complete letdown. I'm going to complete Seed here. We'll see if it changes a bunch. I kind of like the little mini battle droids. They look kind of dumb and blocky, and it's cool. But when a Lego Star Wars game is less blocky than your Lego race or than your non-Lego racing game, it just has problems, and it's hard to stop talking about how much of just nothing this is. This is the most mediocre Star Wars game I think I've played because, yeah, it has Star Wars characters, it has some quotes. Doesn't do much else, though. And the gameplay's not fun or engaging so far. I am playing a racing game where I don't feel like there's any actual stakes to it. It feels slow and like if you basically just follow the course, you're gonna make it? Granted, I might have picked like a broken character, like Darth Maul might be the best character in the game or something. I have no idea. But there's just not a lot here. And now I'm interested in if we beat this, if it's gonna unlock Seed, or if I think Seed, or if I'm gonna have to do something else on a completely different level to get the next levels unlocked, or if you have to do secret things. That's not always fun to have to wonder about, because then you're sitting there wondering, well, how do I unlock this level? And it creates more strife than anything. If it's just a matter of beating the levels, then you move on. It's not a big deal at all. But so far, it doesn't look like there's any indication of what's going to happen. As I mentioned, there's no storytelling element to this at all. It's just racing. Which they could have added in some BS, like, oh, there's a galactic race that the Emperor's putting on, or something stupid. But they didn't do that. Oh, I apparently have a boost that I can use too. Okay, that's what that little flame icon is. The bottom right. Oh man, I'm doing really bad. So, there's so much here that I'm struggling to grasp why this was made, almost, because it's just not a very good race. That's in the most basic of things. It's not great. The environments aren't fantastic. It's ugly. It's just not in any way fantastic. And we've seen good Star Wars games. We've seen a good Star Wars racing game with Pod Racer, which is fantastic in a lot of good ways. And, you know, that's a game that created a lot of memories for people. I don't feel like this would be one of those games just creating a bunch of great memories and making people go, man, I remember that Star Wars game where you got to race around as Darth Maul and Boss Nass, and it was Mario Kart. I personally have never heard anyone talk about this game, which you'd think Star Wars Super Bombad Racing, if it was any sort of a good game, maybe talked about a bit, right? Right? Feel like I'm doing the Padme Anakin meme, where, oh, this, right? Anakin just looks at her, right? That's what Star Wars Super Bombad Racers feels like. So, while I give this its score and everything and finish this up, hopefully it'll unlock the next level, and that might increase it a little bit. But in terms of graphics, this game isn't good. In terms of sound, this game is also not good. The soundtrack is just kind of there. I guess there's some sounds that are pretty good, like the water effects, but it doesn't sound like anything you'd actually hear in Star Wars. And I'm not sure what the theming of this music really is, because it's just generic music. That was a weird Jar Jar. Okay, that just flew above me. I'm sure every character has their own unique special powers and stuff too, but so pod race course unlocked. Okay, so yeah, there is new courses to unlock when you complete other ones. But really, this isn't a good game. This is really mediocre. They said, hey, Mario Kart's popular, let's copy the style, and that's what this is. Giving Star Wars Bombad Racers a score, it's a 4 out of 10, because it's not enough that liking Star Wars will make you enjoy this game. It's going to be one where you have to really like off-brand Mario Kart and really like Star Wars to get any enjoyment out of this, and even then you're probably going to get bored of it pretty soon, because it's so much of just the same thing. And it doesn't do it better than any other game of its era did. I'd argue that it probably does it worse. You can find better through basically any racing game, so go check those out instead. And if you like this video, hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on a future episode of Unscripted. You can also hit the bell so that way you're notified when new episodes come out. Other than that, if you want to support the channel a bit more, hit that link in the bottom in the description to go to my Patreon, where you can get other advantages like having your name show up in the credits and other things. And other than that, I do want to thank you for watching Unscripted, and I will see you next time. Bye.